Take one, marker.
Where does this idea of cloud without compromise come from?
What's happening today is if you're a very big company with a lot of resources and deep pockets, cloud's great, hyperscaler's great. If you're a mid-market company with constraints and a CFO that's saying, hey, your budget's getting out of control, it doesn't work for you anymore.
We used to manage all that stuff internally, which is a royal pain in the butt, and you take your most prized people and the smartest people to create this infrastructure and architect it. Instead of focusing on our clients, we were doing our own infrastructure.
On top of that, now you have the next big wave, AI. And so companies are saying, how do I actually solve for sovereignty and regulatory and compliance and security in a shared environment that I don't control? They're all saying, I need something different.
Why can't hyperscalers do what Nexcess does?
There were a number of studies that went to the mid-market and said, how do you feel about your current cloud solution? And 97% came back and said, it's not working for me. So we took that feedback and we came back to the drawing board and we said, look, let's solve this problem. It's a big problem. We had two assets that we owned as a company. We had servers.com and we had liquid web. And servers.com had data centers all over the world, low latency, just really drove performance and scale as good as the hyperscalers, quite frankly. And then we had a company, liquid web, known for its white glove support. And when we put those two things together, we said, hey, geez, the nexus of these two companies are essentially the problem we're solving, and therefore we became Nexcess. We could bring a solution that actually gives the scale and the advantages of a cloud without the headaches that come with cloud.
I believe in buying what you aren't an expert into and letting somebody else go and deal with that. Data centers are not straightforward. Working through all of those different components distracts your best people from focusing on what you're supposed to be the expert in.
If you want to do it yourself, if you want to go to Home Depot and buy all the stuff and build your own extension on your house, great. If you want somebody to do it for you, that's us. We're going to give it to you without the compromise, all the things you're looking for: high performance, cost predictability, support with regulatory and compliance and security, and easy, just easy. You know, we're in the peace of mind business, really, when you think about it.
The Nexcess merge gives our customers more choice. We've been very good at what we've been doing for a long time, but what we've been doing is pretty narrow. Our customers really value being able to talk to someone who understands their business inside and out.
The transition to Nexcess allowed us to focus more on the client experience rather than on something that we don't actually do. We really focus in highly regulated industries, manufacturing, healthcare, and financial services. We work with people who are making parts that go into military jet engines. We have healthcare providers that are providing cancer research. The ability to be able to put them into a data center environment that we know is compliant. That's what gets our team out of bed every day. They know that they're actually going to help enable those businesses to work. They're not just resetting someone's password. Like, that person is a cancer research scientist, and they need to be able to get access to be able to do the things that they need to do, and we enable that.
When you talk about other major public providers or other providers, you don't get the same kind of relationship that you're looking for. I think we were 3 or 4 months into it. A bunch of stuff went down for X amount of hours. If that same issue occurred, public clouds, hyperscalers, big boys, they'd be like, oh, what? That's cute. Like, come back to me later. We have direct chat access, and the engineer was consistent. So the person onboarding us, helping through one issue, was the same person helping them through the next one. You're not like re-explaining your infrastructure or your environment to every new person. When I'm focused on, hey, I want to bring in a new client that wants to work with us, I'm not thinking about all these logistics behind the scene. I just make a phone call like, please send me 6 more servers. I need these spun up tomorrow. It's great to actually have somebody that you can connect to and get it solved. Focus is underrated. Being able to stop being everything to everybody and trying to make sure that you're doing the right things really well is a really important quality to have.
We're going to be able to drive the same outcomes that we're doing now for customers, but better.
You often have people at the end say, well, you guys are at the right place at the right time. And my answer is, no, we put ourselves at the right place at the right time. We've got a great strategy. The market is supporting it. So now it's just about execution.